Okay, so how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
So first of all, let me introduce myself. My full name is Antonia Tefa, but you could simply call me Ani. I graduated from Monash University, and then today I'm going to do the simulation with you, IELTS simulation speaking section. So may I know why do you want to take this IELTS preparation class?
I want to study abroad.
So where do you want to study? Which country?
Hopefully, Malaysia.
Sorry, which country?
Hopefully, Malaysia.
Malaysia? Wow, which university will you go?
I'm still unsure.
What about the course? Major, which major will you take?
Maybe economics.
Okay. Why Malaysia?
Because my brother already studied there.
Okay. Have you taken any IELTS preparation course or IELTS test before?
No, I haven't.
So are you now in the 12th grade?
I'm in 11th grade.
Okay. So when will you take the IELTS course, the plan?
The end of this semester.
Okay. So you are going to take the test at the end of this semester.
Yes.
When do you plan to go to Malaysia?
After I graduate.
So you already there?
What? Sorry.
So when do you plan to go to Malaysia?
I've been there before, so I will probably go there when I graduated.
Okay. So do you know something about IELTS?
Sorry?
Do you know something about IELTS?
Oh, it's a test to determine your English skill.
Okay. What score would you like to get for the overall score to register yourself in the university?
Above 6.5.
With no band less than 6?
Yeah.
Okay. So today I'm going to give you a simulation on speaking section. Let me tell you a bit about what will happen in speaking section. So IELTS speaking section, it will usually take around 11 to 40 minutes to complete. And then within this 11 to 14 minutes, you will have 3 parts of the IELTS speaking section. The first part, you are going to ask question about yourself, and then you have to answer some question on general topics. It will take you for about 4 to 5 minutes to complete. Do you have question for the part 1?
No.
And then for part 2, after finishing with part 1, you will have part 2. In part 2, the examiner is going to give you a task card. Inside the task card, there will be a particular topic written on it. Then you will have 1 minute to prepare before speaking for about 1 up to 2 minutes. After that, after the preparation time, so you have 1 minute to prepare, you may take notes about what you are going to talk. After that, you will have 1 to 2 minutes to talk about that topic. Do not talk less than 1 minute, but it is okay to talk more than 2 minutes. The examiner is going to stop you if you exceed the time. Do you have question about part 2? And then after that, you will have the last part. It is the third part. For the third part, the examiner is going to ask you questions related to the topic given in part 2. In this part, it will be like a discussion between you and the examiner. So here you have to answer the question directly without no preparation time. And then you have to provide the reason and the example of why you answering the question like the way you will answer it. So in part 1 and part 3, there is no preparation time. You have to answer the question directly after the examiner give you the question. However, in part 1, Do not speak too long, do not speak too short, while for part 3, you have to speak longer than part 1 and part 1, because in part 3, you are supposed to give the reason and also examples. Do you have question? Let us go for this one. These are the do and don'ts in IELTS speaking. The first one, be aware of the question types. This one is very important so that you will not give irrelevant answer. The second one, do not give 1 or 2 word answer. You have to answer the question and then provide edit information. So for example, do you have any plan to go to university? Do not just simply answer, yes, for sure, yes, I do, no, I don't. You have to answer the question and then provide edit information. So for example, yes, for sure, I would like to major in mechanical engineering. Do you get this one? Let me ask you the same question. Do you have any plans to go to university?
Yeah, I would like to major in business management.
Okay, very good. Let us go for this one. So to give a good answer, it should be contain the main answer and also the supporting ideas. So for example, do you like swimming? You could answer, I love swimming. This one is the main idea because it is so relaxing, the supporting idea one. Besides, it helps me be in shape, supporting idea two. So here, you have the main idea and then you have the supporting idea for the question, do you like swimming? To help you make a good answer by providing the supporting ideas, you could use the linking words. So the linking words, it is to help you to structure your sentences, and also it is for the examiner to follow your ideas. So the example here, you have two linking words, because and besides. Any question for this one? Okay, let me ask you the same question then. Do you like swimming?
I don't really like swimming because it's tiring. And I also have to wash my hair.
Oh, okay. Great. Next one. If you cannot think of a word, then paraphrase it. So for example, you are about to say he is a reliable person, but then in the middle of the test, you are panicked, you are nervous, you are running out of time, and then you have the idea here, but then you cannot say it. You could paraphrase the word. So for example, he is a reliable person, and then you paraphrase the word reliable into he is a sort of a person you can always depend on. What about this one? Do you get this one? Very good. Next question. Listen carefully to the questions and then answer the question to the point. Do not go around the bush. So what I mean by here is that this one. By the time the examiner asks you question, you might be familiar with the question and the topic, but you might not be familiar with the question and the topic. So if you are about to buy the time while thinking about the answer, instead of saying, or being freeze at a couple of seconds at the beginning of your sentence, it is better for you to answer this way. That is an interesting question. Let me think about it. Or, so let me see. So for example, the question, do you think students should be given homework? And then you are about to think about the answer. You cannot answer directly because you have to think. You could come up with these phrases. That is an interesting question. Let me think about it and then you answer. Do you get this one? Do you have questions so far?
No.
Okay, since you have no question, then let us do the practice. This is part 1. I'm going to be the practice examiner and then you are going to be the candidate. So I'm going to ask you questions related to school. Do you go to high school near to where you live?
Yes, I did because it's easier to go there every morning, so I won't be late.
Okay, that is very good. Next one. What do you like about your high school?
It is, the people there are very friendly and the teachers are very understanding.
Okay, great. Tell me about anything you don't like at your school.
I don't like the internet connection.
Okay, last question. How do you think your school could be improved?
I think they could upgrade their Wi-Fi for us to have better internet connection.
Okay, that is the end of part 1. So what do you think about the question given in part 1? Are they familiar to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty easy.
Oh, that's great then. In part 1, the question will stop here. So for example, what do you like about your school? The question will stop here. But by the time you answer the question, please put in mind that why and why not is behind the question, so that you could expand your answer, so that you will not give a very short answer. Do you get this one? Very good. Let us move on to part 2. So imagine that this is the card given to you, this one. So you are about to describe something you do not have now, but would really like to own it in the future. Here, you should say what thing is this, how long you have wanted to own it, where you first saw it, and explain why you would like to own it. I'm going to give you 1 minute to prepare. Use this preparation time to take notes, so that by the time you are about to talk, you could see it in your notes. Do you understand? Okay, let us go. 1 minute to prepare. You may start now. Okay, I'm going to stop you there for the preparation time. Now let us go for the individual long talk. You have 1 up to 2 minutes to talk. Make sure you do not talk less than 1 minute. So you may start now.
Okay. So the thing that I really wanted is an iPad Pro. I have wanted this since I was in 8th grade, so it was 4 years ago. And I first saw my friend have it when I went to her house, and I think that an iPad is very useful. You can watch YouTube, you can draw in it, and I really want it so I can draw because I am into drawing lately, and I think digital drawing is easier and just a way to save paper, and you don't really need to buy any coloring equipments or other stuff like that because you all have it in one app. But the thing is, iPad is very expensive, and you also need to buy the stylus. So I think I need to think about it because if I don't really use it, I would just be wasting money.
You still have 50 seconds to go.
Oh. I actually did have a tablet when I was in elementary school. There wasn't an iPad, so I think the features are less. They are not as good as Apple products, so I did not really had the experience of having an iPad, and I really wanted this so I can practice drawing and enhance my creativity.
Okay, that's great. Do you have question for this one, the second part?
Not really. I know what have to do, but I don't think I can really do it in a short amount of time.
Okay, no worries. That's okay, that's right. So for part 2, you have to maximize your time. You have 1 up to 2 minutes to talk. Make sure you do not talk less than 1 minute, because it will give little chance for the examiner to assess your ability. Here in part 2, within that 1 up to 2 minutes, you have to answer all of these questions. By the time you have finished with that, you could add more information, but make sure you answer all of this within that 1 up to 2 minutes. Do you understand, or do you have questions?
I understand.
Very good. Let us move on to part 3, the last part. What types of things do young people in your country most want to own today? So for this time, just like part 1, you have to answer directly, no preparation time. Let me start over the question. What types of things do young people in your country most want to have today?
Oh, I answered directly.
Yes, this one is like part 1. You have to answer it directly. However, for this, you have to provide the reason and also the example. So let us go for this one. What type of things do young people in your country most want to have today?
They are game consoles like PS5 or Nintendo Switch, because people nowadays really like to play games.
Why do some people feel they need to own things?
Because it makes them feel worthy, and they might show their wealth by having these things.
Okay, next question. Do you think that owning lots of things makes people happy?
I think it depends on the person, but for most people, yes, because it is more comfortable to do stuff with many things, because it's easier to have lots of things.
Okay, so that is the end. Do you have question about part 3?
So is this just our opinion?
Yes. So for part 3, the examiner is going to see your opinion. So you could say anything about your point of view, even if it does not relate or it does not match, even if you think that the examiner might not like it, that's okay. You could even lie. For IELTS, it is okay to lie because nobody will going to see the truth. The point is that the point is to see your speaking ability. So far, do you have question?
No, it's clear.
Okay, so let me give you some feedback. So for part 1, part 2, and part 3, I do appreciate the way you answer the question. You could answer it well, fluently. That is very good. But the things that you have to improve is that in IELTS, it is expected that you will use less common vocabulary. It means that you have to use, by the time you answer the question, you are expected to paraphrase the question. You do not repeat the question in your answer. You have to paraphrase. And then it is expected that you could use advanced vocabulary or advanced word. However, do not overuse it. So it means that if you find out that this word is fancy, but you do not know the meaning, then do not do that. Do you have questions so far?
No.
Okay. Since you have no question, may I know your availability to learn? I mean, in what day or what time would you like to learn?
Free on the weekends.
Oh, weekends. So is that okay if you learn in Saturday?
Yes.
Okay. What time?
around afternoon to noon. So maybe 3 p.m.
9 p.m.
3 p.m.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I had thought it was 9. Okay, weekend 3 p.m. Okay. What about weekdays? You have
I
to go
am
to
busy
school.
because I have other courses too.
Ah, okay, okay. So weekend 3 p.m. Okay. So do you still have any question?
No.
Okay. Since you have no question, then thank you for joining me today for the simulation class. See you around.
Yes, thank you.